10 principles that are based on my soon-to-be released book, Fear Forward, and we're actually working on a movie as well. The first principle is progress. You seek progress. You see it all the time. We not only want to make progress, but we want that progress to leave a mark on the world. We want people to know we were here. That's why kids carve their names into trees, spray paint their names on walls, carve their names into picnic benches. We want the world to know we were here. We want to make an impact on the world. But guess what? We not only want to make an impact in one area, we want to empower our lives, progress our lives across the board. I'm talking personally, professionally, mentally, physically. It's a universal thing. We want to master our lives across the board. It doesn't end there, but we want to move the lives of others forward too. Very few things match the feeling of service. Number 2 is courage. To make the greatest progress, you gotta face the greatest issue in your life. Now, what do most people do? Most people face every other issue except that number one, that main issue. And they face every other thing on their to-do list. And they distract themselves with immediate gratification or their daily routine. You gotta face the greatest issue in your life to make the greatest progress, which means you need that courage. Number 3 is leverage. Beneath your labels of stress, struggle, issues, challenges, obstacles, at the core of them is fear. Now, fear, the beauty of fear, can be leveraged. You can actually leverage fear and make that great progress that you're after. Next is emotion. It's crucial that you understand fear is an emotion and nothing more. We don't fear the unknown. I know it's a popular view, but it's very costly. If you believe in fear of the unknown, it will handicap you. Because here's the deal. Fear is an emotion. You can't fear that which you have no information for, no substance for in your mind. And like any emotion, fear requires that. It requires substance in the mind. If you are happy, because someone like me who enjoys public speaking, if you get an opportunity to speak tomorrow, you will have the emotion of happiness because that's the substance, the content, the information in your mind. And if you said to me, Oudi, why do you got the smile on your face? I say, because I'm presenting tomorrow. You see that? So that's emotion. Fear is an emotion, and we don't fear the unknown. Okay, next, number 5, history. See, if you don't fear the unknown, you must fear the known. What is the known? It's your past. It's your history. We don't fear the mystery of tomorrow. We fear the history of yesterday. So anytime you're triggered by someone in the now, the near or distant future, it has nothing to do with them and everything to do with what they remind you of your past. Next is judgment. Okay, number 6, judgment. So it is the judgment of your past. It's the judgments you've made in your history, in your personal history or professional history, that's generating the fear. Anything in the past that you label as negative, as unwanted, perhaps a mistake, runs you. Because anything you label as unwanted, you will naturally seek to avoid in the future. Anything that resembles it in the future, you're going to want to stay clear from. Number 7, experiences in the past that you've judged as negative, as unwanted, as a mistake, that's responsible for your fears, right? But there's 2 kinds of experiences. There's experiences that you've had firsthand, what we call direct experiences. And there's experiences that you've had through the eyes of others. Indirect experiences. Okay, let me give you some examples. So I coached a guy who was terrified of needles. Every year when he has his blood work done to renew his visa here in the UAE, he's literally out for 7 days. And so that came from a previous experience that he labeled and perceived to be traumatic in the past that led to his future fear and the current fear that he carried with him when it came to needles. Okay? I had an 86-year-old lady, just to show you how long you can carry these memories with you. 86-year-old lady who remembers being 16 years old, and she stepped on what she thought were leaves, and they gave way under her foot, I should say, and she stepped into a moving river. Someone helped her in the last second, but that was enough to create a first-hand experience and create a direct fear. I worked with a fearless-looking triathlete who was terrified when it came to speaking in front of groups because she had a previous experience where she was criticized from the audience. These are direct experiences, and I'll flip them real quick and show you what indirect experiences look like. So it could be someone who's afraid of needles because they witnessed someone during COVID experience a needle. I coached one gentleman who was afraid of the water, and we traced it back to when he was about 5 or 6 years old. He was hiding behind the lazy boy, and he was watching the movie Jaws when his parents thought he was sleeping. And that was the indirect experience. He didn't have a direct experience in the water, but he experienced it through the eyes of others in a movie. And I have people who have watched others get shot down as speakers and get humiliated on the stage, and now they're afraid of speaking. Number 8 is story. You can't change your past, just like you can't change people, but you can change the narrative, the story that you've been telling yourself. And when you rewrite the story of your past, you rewrite your future. You literally rewrite your history, and that paves a way, creates a way for a brand new future. Number 9 is perspective. Your brain is actually trying to help you make progress, because your brain not only stores the negative aspects, the perceived negative aspects of those experiences that you've judged in the past, direct or indirect. Your brain also has anti-memories that store the positive aspects that you're unconscious to, that helps you complete your perspective if you put them together. And finally, number 10, questions with an S, okay? It's important that you question your questions, because the wrong questions take you down that dark road with no control over the steering wheel and the brakes. The right questions take you down that beautiful highway during the day with the convertible, and you're in control of the steering wheel and brakes. The wrong questions take you in the wrong direction. The right questions take you to a beautiful place. And I'll give you a story to understand what I'm talking about. I had a patient come in to see me, and she said to me, I can't believe him. I can't believe her. I'm going to kill them. And I'm like, hold on a second. What are you talking about? I'm not following you. She was engaged to somebody. They broke up. And now one of her best girlfriends is dating him. She was livid. And you can see, guys, that the wrong questions took her in the wrong direction, because they created anger and rage, because she was asking herself these questions. Why is this happening to me? How could he do this to me? How could she betray me? What did I do to deserve this? All those questions take her in the wrong direction. And then I stopped her in her tracks, and we changed her questions. And I said, what is the advantage of this situation? And she realized this. She said to me, Oudi, I've had a hard time breaking free from this guy. And I said, so now that he's done this, is he unhooked? Have you unhooked him? She's like, absolutely. And she feels like she's free. When it came to her friend, this girlfriend of mine is taking me down the wrong direction. I want to open my own business. All she wants to do is party and have fun, and I'm done with that. And I said, has she provided you the opportunity to walk away? She's like, absolutely. So I said, hey, can you see that there's nothing to be angry about, and just something to be grateful about? When you question your questions, guess what? It takes you down a different path.